Hello everyone, Logan from Curated Avalon here, and today I will be sharing some Memorial Day quotes in my quote journal. Today in America it is Memorial Day, and I thought it would be appropriate to find some of my favorite quotes from previous presidents and servicemen regarding our fallen soldiers. So I am going to try to fit 5 quotes onto one page. I am going to get a little creative with Q-tips and ink. I'm going to try to do a line of poppies down at the bottom. Poppy flowers are representative of our fallen soldiers, and just see how this goes. This is going to take several steps. I'm going to layer some ink down first that I will write over top of, and I'm going to go ahead and do that because it's going to take a little while for it to dry. All right, I have Noodler's Liberty's Elysium. And I'm not 100% sure as to what I'm doing here. I'm just going to kind of wing it essentially and hope that it works out. I know I have a larger quote going in the center, so I'm going to try to give it a little bit of a backdrop for the words to sit on. It's kind of the idea. I don't want to put too much ink down. I honestly don't know how much this paper can take, but I'm going to find out today. By the way, this is my onion skin journal. So this is onion skin paper, so it is gorgeously thin. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to stick, before I forget, a piece of copy paper behind it, just in case I do get a little crazy with how much ink is getting laid down. I mean, looks good so far. All right, so I'm going to leave that there and think about what I'm going to do next. All right, so after thinking about it, I think I'm just going to leave the blue there to dry and come back. I want to do a row of poppies at the bottom. And I had initially thought I would do red splotches, but I have a feeling that's going to be a little hard to write over top. The red's going to be so much darker. It would work, but I think I might like just the contrast against the cream paper better. All right, so I'm going to leave that. All right, so the blue has dried, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add in the poppies down below. That way I can write completely over top of anything that I put down. So I have some red ink samples. I have Diamine Red Dragon, Noodler's Dragon's Napalm, Monteverde Cherry Danish, and one more. Colorverse Dark Energy. So I tested these just real quick to see kind of what the color was going to look like. This one was the closest to what I thought a poppy red would look like based on what I had. And I'm just going to play around with these. I'm going to use a Q-tip, see if this works. All right, so try around here. Wow, okay, so this looks significantly different than the test swatch I did on another piece of paper, which is to be expected because this is a completely different paper. But it's just so different than what I was thinking. So I might have to do a little bit more than I thought, which is fine. All right, so I'm gonna go with the napalm. Let that dry just a little bit. Come in. It should be brighter. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea how much this paper can actually take. So I don't want to put too many layers on. I don't want to spend too much time on it, just in case it starts to give way. And do I know what poppies really look like? Apparently not. Well, it is a Q-tip. All right, I'm gonna let, got a little smear there. I'm gonna let that dry and then layer it a little bit more, I think. All right, so that's been drying, and I'm gonna try to see if I can't get this to zoom in just a little bit, maybe. Oops. Y'all can see just a little bit better what's going on. I might not be able to get it to do it. All right, move the camera in just a little bit closer. You might be able to see what I'm doing with this red ink a little bit better. All right, so this has been drying. It's still not quite dry. It's actually doing pretty good on the back. A little bit of bleed through there, so I'm glad I put the paper down. And I think I'm just gonna add in maybe another row of poppies to kind of fill in a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to the red, and this time I'm gonna start with the dragon's napalm. What the difference is if I reverse things as to how they look. Right, then back to the Diamine Red Dragon. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna let that dry. Next, I am going to add some stems and some leaves. And for that, I will be using my Diamine Dark Forest. It's really the only green I have, so it should work. I'm actually going to test this out to see how I'm going to make this work. Let's see. That line's just a little fat. Actually, I do have an idea. If I can get the cotton off of the end of the Q-tip, watch me like totally just crash into this ink bottle and knock it off the table. All right, let's see. Yeah, because I'm thinking if I can get the cotton off of the end of this Q-tip, then I can use the end to draw a much finer line. Okay. Let's see how this works. Just a little thick. Still have too much cotton on there, maybe. Oh, wait. Okay, so I actually think this will work. Maybe just try to get the end a little bit more under control. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Okay. Oh wow, it looks so much different on this paper. Can't get it quite as thin. That's okay. It kind of looks like pencil, a colored pencil instead of ink. It's a little thick. So it does look like vastly different. Actually, I'm getting more like cactus vibes from this now, but that's okay. And just to fill in, kind of fill in the bottom a little bit. Whether that's a good idea or not, we'll find out. Yeah, I'm not a super artistic person, but I do enjoy seeing if things work. I love it when they work better than I think they're going to, but that doesn't always happen. Okay, it's not too bad. Oh, actually, since these are poppies, this should work. I just take now, obviously, I don't think all poppies face you dead on like this, but for the sake of representation, I'm going for it. Okay, I don't think that's too bad. Alright, I'm going to let that completely dry before I bring my hand over to start writing on top of everything. So I feel like this is dried enough for me to be able to put my wrist on it. And I'm going to go ahead and start writing the quotes. Set this aside. Alright, so I feel like this is dried enough and I'm going to start writing the quotes. I think I'm going to start with the two corner ones and then go to the center. See how that works out. My first quote is from Franklin D. Roosevelt. Those who have long enjoyed such privileges as we enjoy, forget in time that men have died to win them. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Okay, so that's my first one. Let's see if I can't fit the other one over here in the corner. The next one is from General Douglas MacArthur. No man is entitled to the blessings of freedom unless he be vigilant in its preservation. General, well, get the G in there, Douglas MacArthur. Alrighty, managed to fit those two. And the middle quote is from Ronald Reagan. This is from his 1982 Memorial Day address at Arlington Cemetery. It's a part of it, partial. I'm trying to figure out exactly where to start. It's kind of long. Okay. And if words cannot repay the debt we owe these men, surely with our actions we must strive to keep faith with them and with the vision that led them to battle and to final sacrifice. Ronald Reagan, 1982, Memorial Day address. All right, and I have two more quotes, one here and one here. Let's see if I can fit them in. This one is from Winston Churchill. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. All right, and the last quote is from Sergeant Major Bill Paxton. May we never forget our fallen comrades. Freedom isn't free. Sergeant Major Bill Paxton. All right, I did manage to get everything on there. Yeah, that doesn't show up too badly. I think the red would have been too dark. And to top it off, I think I'm just going to go through and kind of add a little bit more in, and then I will be finished. Just going to fill in a little bit. And the grass, I figure, just drop it on down, try to cover up that little bit of red. Maybe add a little bit of dark red in some of the flowers. This is Colorverse Dark Energy. I don't know. It's like, is this a good idea? Will it make it worse? You just never know. Kind of looks like it's adding extra spots. Try to shove it around. Okay, that's better. Shoving and not dabbing is better. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. I feel like if I touch it anymore, I'll just make it worse. Okay. I feel like I need something else on the page. I'm just not sure what it should be. All right, so I thought about it, and I think I'm going to add kind of like a bunting to the sides. Let's see, I've got Liberty's Elysium, and I need a good red. I'm gonna go with the Monteverde Cherry Danish, I think. I think that's probably the closest to an American red that I've got. Alrighty. I do forget, like, the ink just shows up so differently than I think it's going to, which is fine. Just not expecting it. Thinking it may have gone a step too far. Because it just kind of looks scary. Okay, so pretend like there's white there and drop down. Okay, maybe it's not the worst thing ever, but okay. I mean, it could be better. But I don't hate it. So that's half the battle here. All right, so I'm going to use my Sailor Stellar Black Hole pen, which has some ink on it. And this has Ferris Wheel Pressed Roaring Patina Black ink in it. And this is a zoom nib, so it's going to give me a little bit more of a broader stroke. And I'm just going to write Memorial Day in here. And 2022. And I think I'm going to go back through and add some more red. It just looks kind of funky. Well, get a little bit more than that. Okay. Well, I tried. All right, so that is going to be the end of my quote more artistic adventure with this quote page, but I'm pretty pleased with it. It could have been a lot worse. I know the limits of my artistic ability, and it could have been worse. So I decided to add more. I was like walking away and thought about it and went, you know, could totally add more to this actually. I'm gonna go with the sailor pen. Go with that zoom nib. I'm going to try outlining the bunting a little bit. See if I can get it to show up just a little bit more. Maybe it won't look like it's floating so much. I think that's a slight improvement. I think. It's a little cartoony, but okay, I feel like that's a little better. Ooh, maybe I should put some stars. Actually, I could do blue stars. I have American blue in my aluminum Kaweco Sport. This is a medium nib. Now we're getting really cartoony. But it's getting very patriotic, so you know, that's half of it. Okay, so drawing stars at an angle straight across isn't super easy, so I'm gonna come over here. Okay. I like that better. I actually do. I think that looks a little bit more like it belongs there now. Okay. I love the way this paper feels. Very cool. All right, now I'm done. As far as the ink performed on the paper, writing on with the fountain pen and the fountain pen ink did really well. That was very comfortable. I've enjoyed that so far. Applying with a Q-tip doesn't do super well. It's definitely an effect. I mean, that's just either you want that effect or you don't. I think if you know ahead of time how the ink will react with the paper when applied in larger volume and in layers and everything, you could really utilize that. But very cool overall. So I'm just going to go over the quotes again. Those who have long enjoyed such privileges as we enjoy forget in time that men have died to win them. Franklin D. Roosevelt. No man is entitled to the blessings of freedom unless he be vigilant in its preservation. General Douglas MacArthur. And if words cannot repay the debt we owe these men, surely with our actions we must strive to keep faith with them, and with the vision that led them to battle and to final sacrifice. Ronald Reagan. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Winston Churchill. May we never forget our fallen comrades. Freedom isn't free. Sergeant Major Bill Paxton. Thank you so much for watching. Have a safe Memorial Day.